Today, we're going to talk about the charity shops because if there's anything I miss in lockdown 3, it's my charity shops. I miss going in and having a good old browse, window shopping, finding items that I didn't even know could possibly exist. It's always a fun time. And because of that, I thought today we would talk about some of my favorite pieces that I've thrifted over the years in my house. Because if you don't know, most of my house is full of secondhand pieces, either from my family or from charity shops. And I've found some pretty good stuff over the years. We know about the pink fridge. Don't worry, I'm only gonna mention her once in this video. I'll make it brief, I promise. So I'm gonna take you around my house and share those things with you. And today's video is very kindly sponsored by ShopTagger, which is the app that a lot of you DM me about and ask me, what was that app that you use that helps you save money? It's ShopTagger, and they're sponsoring today's video. And ShopTagger is a great app that you can use on desktop or mobile to help you get items brand new at the absolute best price. When I do buy a piece of furniture for my house or home decor piece brand new, I want to sit and think about it for a while. I don't want to make impulse purchases, and if I can get it at a better price, I really want to. So ShopTagger really helps me because it allows me to think about items for a little bit longer and not make a purchase far too quickly. If you download the ShopTagger extension, you can add items from your favorite websites to wish lists, and it will give you notifications as and when the items either drop in price or come back into stock, which is really, really handy if you're trying to get something at the absolute lowest price. And what's even better is that ShopTagger now has a coupon feature, so when you check out, it will apply coupons and help you get an even lower price. And they've even launched a cashback feature, so you can get a little bit of money back when you shop with ShopTagger on certain websites. If you haven't already tried it and you'd like to, I'm gonna link ShopTagger below in the description box, so if you click the link, you'll be able to find out a little bit more and save yourself some serious money. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump in and I'll show you my favorite thrifted pieces. Why don't we start in the room that I'm already in, the sitting room. In here, most of the items are secondhand from family members, and there's a couple of new bits, but there's a few things I want to show you that I thrifted. So this is what my sitting room's looking like at the moment. Can we take a minute to appreciate that my disco ball is working overtime today? We love the natural sunlight. Haven't seen it in a very long time. So yeah, in here there's a lot of hand-me-downs from my family, including this sideboard that I DIY'd, this mirror that still needs restoration. And while we're at it, just because it was a bargain, these little nesting tables were from Aldi and they were £12.50 for the set. But that's not thrifted, so let's get into it. Of course, first of all, I have to shout out my bar cart. I DIY'd this a long time ago. I put some contact paper on all of the trays to cover up the weird plastic wood underneath, and I think it looks really good. It's one of my longest standing DIY projects, and it only cost me £10 when I bought it. Oh, and on my bar cart, that cocktail shaker was £1.99 in Oxfam, and these glasses, originally from Oliver Bonus, were I think £4.99 for the set from the Cancer Research Shop. This little radio was actually in the charity shop. I think it was just a few pounds. I have broken the cable for it, but you can use a giant battery in the back, so if I can find one of those or get a new cable, I'm gonna try and get it working. I think you might be able to hook up an aux to it, but nevertheless it does look very aesthetic. Moving on to the desk and the chair in this alcove. I know having two looped cane items is a bit much. I'm gonna swap one of them out, but that's just where they are at the moment, so let's talk about them. The desk I found recently in the British Heart Foundation for £15. I'm definitely going to change out these handles, but I think I'm going to use it in my guest bedroom at some point. And the chair was only a £5. I think this was in the local hospice shop. It needs a little bit of a touch-up of paint that I still haven't given it yet, but I really, really like how it looks, just maybe not with the desk. Oh, and before I forget, This light fixture was from a vintage market that I went to a couple of years ago, and I bought it for £10. I think it's a capiz shell and I absolutely love it. Maybe it's a little bit small for the space, but I just think it makes a big statement, so I'm not going to change it anytime soon. And now moving on to the dining room, which I'm keeping a little bit more minimal at the moment, at least for my taste. But there's a few things in here that I think are worth mentioning. The two main things that really stand out in this room are the fireplace and the mirror. The mantelpiece I bought on a local buy and sell website, kind of like Facebook Marketplace, and it was only £20. It was a crappy MDF, but I painted it and I think it looks really, really nice. And the mirror above it, I would actually really like to mount on the wall at some point, but this was only £10 and it was from the British Heart Foundation. It was kind of sneaky of me, but I saw this in their stock room as I was walking past, and I had to ask someone if it was for sale, and they said yes. And they were like, £10. So I got it and I squeezed it in my car. While we're in here, this vase is thrifted and I think it was £2 and I love it. I've had that for years. And that's pretty much it for the dining room. Let's move on. In the kitchen, we don't have too many things to talk about aside from the obvious. I'll get to that. But I want to show you a few other things first. My shelves, which are one of my favorite things in the kitchen, are from a reclamation yard, and I think they're about £15. I think there used to be shelves in a bookcase and I've just plonked them on the wall. They've even got like old writing on them, which I just think is really cool, and it gives the kitchen a bit of character. And on the shelves we've got a few thrifted things, like my Pyrex coffee jug with the stars on it, which I think is beautiful. This little trio of the cutting boards and the cafetiere are also thrifted. The cafetiere was from that vintage sale that I went to a few years ago. I love it so much. And the blue teapot and the cookbook, also from the charity shops. So yeah, it's a bit of a collection of old and new. I pulled these bits out to show you. These are a recent thrift find. They're olive wood bowls and they're heart-shaped. They're so beautiful. I love these. I'll never get rid of these. They were £4 for the set. And a few years ago, I found this beautiful orange decanter, which is great for putting juice in the summer. And I think it was about £1. It's pretty old, probably from the 70s or the 80s or something. And I made a whole video on this, so I won't bore you too much, but the pink Smeg fridge is my best thrift find ever. And I did get a few comments about the fact that I forgot to show the inside, so today, let's do it. I haven't tidied this up, so that's the inside of the fridge. Yeah, not very exciting. Don't ask why I've got an entire tub of sauerkraut in there. Okay, yeah, let's close that. Isn't she a beauty? I love her. Also, I decided to name her Frenchie, like the character from Greece, because, you know, pink. Oh, and also, I can't show you this in place because I'm doing a project in my laundry room, but I'm putting this on the wall, and a lot of you told me that this is called Bagatelle. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but it's a game, a vintage game that I bought for £10, and it's got all of the balls, and you just... I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm really looking forward to putting that on the wall, so I'll show you that project very, very soon. Let's go upstairs and see what we can find. Upstairs. Now we're in the bathroom, only a couple of things to show in here because it's quite a small room. This piece is my favourite little bathroom cabinet, which you will be very proud of me for. I've used up almost all of the products in it. Pat on the back. I'm really trying to cut back on the amount of stuff I have. I just need to get rid of the bits in here. As you can see, it's suffered a little bit of nail polish remover damage, so I'm planning on doing a big upcycle of this and putting it somewhere else in my house because I think it's got a fantastic shape and it could be really, really fun to do a project on. And I know a few of you are dying to see me get rid of this because it's quite controversial for good reason. That is why. It's got about 1 millimeter between it. So I'm gonna give this a really good clean and prep it to DIY it very soon, so stay tuned for that. And I've also got this little bath tray, which is really handy for when I'm having a bath. I've got all my favorite bits on it. This was £1.99 in Oxfam. I used to have a DIY version in here, but I had it for so long it was getting a bit grubby, so I thought this was a bargain. Now let's talk about my office. Okay, my office isn't as tidy as it could be. I'm working on some DIY projects right now, so let's not look too closely, but I'm gonna show you that first. This circle mirror has been with me for so long. I've had it for years, and I found it in the British Heart Foundation, and it was only £10. And what's really interesting is that I kept finding them for years after in the same charity shop for the same price. So I've actually got two. I love it so much. I just think it looks absolutely stunning, and it's the perfect makeup mirror because you can tilt it. And then there's this guy, which is a Marcel Brewer chair, or at least a replica of one of those. It's just another looped cane, and I've had this for a really long time as well. It was £6 in the charity shop. And then while we're in here, my light fixture, don't mind the smoke detector that's literally hanging on by a thread. The light fixture in my room is made of seashells, and I found it in a vintage shop. It was £15, and it's just this kind of beaded chandelier, and it's just amazing. I just think it's so cool. Like, look, those are actual seashells. This one's not to everybody's taste, but I just think it's a really interesting piece, so I had to have it. I don't often show my bedroom. It's a little bit dark in here, and I have one too many pieces of K-pop merch, like tiny flags with my favourite boys on them. But I've definitely got a few thrifted favourites in here as well, so let's take a look. There's not a lot to point out in here, as most of the furniture pieces are hand-me-downs from family, including the rug and the wardrobe. But one of my favourite thrift pieces ever is in this room, and it's the purple headboard behind my bed. I can't remember if this was £5 or £10, but I found it in a charity shop that specialises in furniture, and I absolutely adore it. It's this lovely lilac colour that looks great with the blue wall, but it also looks really nice on a pale coloured wall too. It looks great in every bedroom I've put it in. And it's like a velvet as well. It's really luxurious and lovely, and I want to keep this forever. I haven't shown my bedroom for a while, so this is kind of what I've got going on. This is my little yoga corner and my sketchbooks, all the books I'm reading at the moment, and the candles I'm desperately trying to burn through. Why do I have so many candles? But yeah, that's my little reading yoga sketchbook corner. I love this space so much, but it's very dark in here, so let's move on to the next room. And lastly, I tuck a few of my favourite thrifted pieces away in my guest bedroom, which needs a bit of a tidy. I'm letting you know in advance, but yeah, let me show you. This is the guest bedroom currently. I'd love to do a little bit of a project in here and make it look a bit more interesting, but at the moment, this is how it stands. In this corner, we have two of my favourite thrift finds. I got this mid-century piece for £20 about 6 or 7 years ago, I want to say. It was a really long time ago. I immediately painted it, and now I regret it, but I'm leaving it as it is for the time being, as it goes really nicely with the colours in this room. Long gone are the days where I will touch a piece of mid-century furniture with paint. I'm so sorry. And we have the other circular gold mirror in here. Also £10, that was from the British Heart Foundation furniture shop. Over here, there's just a couple of bits I want to show you, mainly the headboard. Look at it. This rattan headboard was £5. I can't believe it. And I actually got that at the same time I bought the purple one in my bedroom. I was like, you know what? I need 2 headboards. And then in the corner, we've got this circle mirror. I think this is about £3 or £4. I have painted it gold, but I'm regretting it because it's a really horrible color. And I think I want to re-spray paint it with a nicer version of gold. But for the time being, it's fine. So it's just resting on top of this IKEA cabinet. And last but not least, up here, I have this painting, which is actually a real watercolor painting. I've reframed it, and I think it just looks lovely. It reminds me of actually going on holiday. What a concept. 2021, please come through. Let us have some freedom. Oh, while I'm here, the blanket and the duvet cover also thrifted. Anyway, I think that's it for the guest bedroom. It's a little bit plain in here, so I'd love to come in and spice it up and make it look a bit more interesting at some point, but that's a project for a couple of months down the line. And with that, that's my final piece that I wanted to share with you today. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite thing is that you've ever thrifted. Last time I asked you this, you all had some really amazing stories, like being reunited with things that you'd lost years ago, which was really interesting and heartwarming to read. So let me know in the comments. And if you want to check out Shop Tagger, I'm leaving them in the description box for you to have a look at. And while we're at it, seeing as I'm plugging things, if you want to check out my Instagram, it's Hermione Chantal, and sometimes I put up some thrifted things on my stories. So go give me a follow over there if you want to. And with all of that being said, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Happy thrifting when you can get out there safely, and see you next time. Bye.